So here's a little video on how to make these things work right the first time. When you turn this on, these lights will flash. When you turn this on, the little light here will flash. When it is synchronized and communicating with each other, these lights will stop flashing and this light will stop flashing. These will stay on solid. So the blue part is always facing away from you, and your hand is in this controller and level. And when you tilt forward like this, the drone will fly away from you. And when you tilt back, it'll fly towards you. When you tilt this way and this way, it will turn side to side, but it will always continue to face forward. If for some reason it gets behind you and you turn around, then the blue will be pointing towards you and your controls will be completely backwards. So my tip is you should look over your shoulder and continue facing the same direction at all times. I have also noticed that from time to time the drone will rotate. It'll turn and maybe face at 3 o'clock, in which case you need to turn your body and make sure that this is facing the same way the direction of the blue is facing. So if while you're flying the drone goes this way, you need to turn your controller that way. If for some reason the drone doesn't seem to want to communicate properly with this, you can reset the gyroscope by simply tilting this joystick towards the ground, so pushing down on it for 5 seconds. These lights will start to flash, and then when they stop flashing, it is synchronized. That's important, otherwise your drone will fly erratically and you will not be able to control it. One last thing, these propellers are marked propeller number 1, propeller number 2, propeller number 1, propeller number 2. The propellers have little numbers on them, so it's important to put a 2 on a 2 position, not on a 1 position, if they somehow come off. No doubt when you're flying this, you'll crash it from time to time. If that happens, when you get it back, make sure that these areas are pinched together and that it hasn't somehow separated. Make sure that this little clip on the guard is clipped into the proper position, that the propellers are properly pressed down on the engines, and that the silver engine is completely pushed up to its upmost position inside the little towers there. Another thing is that these propellers have a number 2 and a number 1 on them. That's important. If the propeller flies off, you don't want to put a 2 on the wrong spot. They are important for how this thing's going to fly. I was able to get 6.5 minutes of flying time, and once you fly it, you're going to plug it in with it turned off, plug it in and recharge it. Recharging takes about 45 minutes, and make sure you turn your controller off. These are AAA batteries, and they last quite a while, so I'm not sure how long those will last, but it's a lot of fun. So it's turned on and the 2 are communicating. I'm going to now push this joystick down to synchronize it. And it's now synchronized. Let's see if it flies. There we go. Flying kind of low to the ground. So tilt away from me, flies that way, tilt back, flies towards me, left, right. I'm always facing the same way the blue is facing. If the blue turns, I have to turn so that the blue is facing completely away from me and the black is towards me. So away from me, back towards me, a little to the right, a little to the left. Still a fun little toy. My cat thinks it's wonderful. What you can do is try flying it through hula hoops and see who can fly it through the hula hoop the best. Now see there, it just landed because it was running out of battery.